Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland. This video is about tourism in London. I made one on this topic before, but not at such an iconic spot. So, well, what are my top pointers? Well, number one, come. It's a fabulous city with endless amounts to offer. Number two, it is expensive, but there are ways to mitigate that. Number three, go around by public transport. Do not go around by car. Let me see. Number four, no need to book a guided tour. It is possible to do it all yourself. And let me see. Number five, to start early going to things to avoid the rush. So I'll try go over them again in more detail. Hopefully do it in the right order. So yeah, London is perhaps the world's premier city. Don't believe me, there are various studies which have said this, that it's got such global reach. It's perhaps the most multi-ethnic city in the world, and there are flights from here to just about every country on earth. And it has oodles to offer in terms of theatre or art galleries or historical sites to see, or bars and restaurants, musical events, you name it. London's got it almost all. Not terribly good weather apart from today. Doesn't have beaches, but their beach is fairly close by. Alright, one thing, definitely doesn't have skiing. Let's be fair. And it's got more green space than perhaps any other major city in the world. About 25% of London is green space. And it's certainly got street entertainment. I'll show you a bit more of that later. So it's a world capital of theatre. It's got at least 50 theatres in the city centre, or West End of London, or Theatre Land, as sometimes people call it. And it's got obviously musical shows, opera, concerts by symphony orchestras, things like that. Lots of churches and cathedrals to see. Even if not particularly religious, they've got some magnificent artwork. Plenty of art galleries. And there are lots of different ethnic minority groups in London, each with their own music and dance scene, things like that. And museums, well, the British Museum has got tens of thousands of artefacts dating back to ancient Egypt. And a lot of these things are free, like the National Gallery, the National Portrait Gallery. The city is blessed with a fantastic artistic heritage, much of it purchased or indeed plundered from overseas. And there are things to do like cruises on the Thames, or go the Air Line, which is a cable car across the Thames. You can take helicopter rides over London. There are these also open top bus tours. If you're pressed for time, the hop-on, hop-off is a good idea. There are a number of different routes, so you can at least see things from the outside, and you don't have to navigate the transport system just getting on and off each time. All right, well, coming on to number two, yes, it is costly. No question about that. One of the most expensive cities in the world. But you can stay at youth hostels. There are some cheap hotels. There is Airbnb. You book early. There are deals to be had. Eating out doesn't have to break the bank. There are low-cost restaurants. There is street food. Or you can just buy things in supermarkets. Even hot food prepared for you in supermarkets. You can keep the cost down that way. Get yourself an Oyster card and go around with that. There's a maximum spend of about £12, or indeed your debit card or credit card, touching in or out, or on the bus or train. That's the blue card in the middle, the Oyster card. Okay, you can get cheaper ones for children. And what else about these things? Yeah, often travelling after 9:30 in the morning is a bit cheaper. They're trying to encourage tourists not to go at rush hour. So don't hire a car. Difficult to find parking spaces. You pay through the nose for parking. No return within 3 hours. You're going to stay for 3 hours. You're hit with a £60 fine if you stay over by a minute, things like that. So no need to park. Public transport goes everywhere. Taxis are not that expensive, actually. If it's a group of three, you might be cheaper going by taxi a short distance than going by tube or bus. As I say, the tube and bus system is ubiquitous, but a bit confusing at first. And you can go on walking tours as well. What are some of the other things I was mentioning? Yeah, so get up early, leave your hotel reasonably early, try and arrive at attractions by 10 o'clock. Queues build up very much after that. Certain very popular attractions, avoid them at the weekend, particularly in the summer, because they'll be manic. Likewise Christmas, go other times. And then come unpopular times of year. A lot of people come at Christmas time and stay until the first Monday of January. After the first Monday of January, usually the city's fairly quiet for tourism. People are broke after Christmas. July and August, ideally avoid. The place is absolutely overwhelmed by swarms of tourists. And of course, it's more expensive then. There's less availability in restaurants, hotels, everything else. So the shoulder season, like let's say May or September, much more reasonable, weather's decent. But good weather can't be relied on even in the height of summer, so do bring at least a light jacket even in summer, and some decent shoes, not just flip-flops. An umbrella might be a good idea, because it's a very grey and rainy city. It's never particularly cold. I'm staggered people abroad ask me that. You know, -7 is the coldest I've ever heard of here. You might get winters where there's not a flake of snow. We bet on it's going to be a white Christmas because very often there's no snow whatsoever. But just it is damp in winter, so it feels colder than it really is. A little bit on the windy side. So this is a very child-friendly city. There's so much to do. London Zoo is a fairly good one. The megafauna are out at Whipsnade, some miles north of London. So yeah, very easy to fly in. There's so many airports around: Heathrow, Luton, Gatwick, London City Airport, which is actually in the city limits. What else? Stansted Airport, quite far out. London Southend is out off to the east, not really London. So there are many day trips you can do. You can base yourself here and easily visit Windsor, Oxford, Cambridge, Brighton, Canterbury, other places, doing each of those as a day trip by public transport. United Kingdom is not a huge country. Train is twice the price of a bus, but about twice as fast. Well, so yeah, so many things to do. Come and see any time of year. Do expect to pay quite a lot for some of the London attractions, about £12 for, you know, typical art gallery or cathedral, something of that nature. What else? So don't expect many people are going to speak a foreign language unless they happen to be from your linguistic group. So it's a very multi-ethnic and multinational city. Lots of ethnic minority Britons, lots of people in different groups who are not British citizens living here. So don't be surprised by that. There are iconic things to see. You can go into Parliament behind me for free. You can go into Buckingham Palace, well, only July, August and the first half of September. You can see the changing of guards, that's free. So it's just got so much to offer. Why aren't you here yet? Only a few places accept dollars or indeed euros, so probably have to change your currency. Pay by debit card, credit card. All right, so get here now. And here are some of the things on the South Bank to see. A little carousel, a little merry-go-round, and there are lots of street performers here on the South Bank and on Covent Garden. There's a performance arts festival here on the South Bank for a long time. On Trafalgar Square, there are many people doing shows, jugglers, acrobats, whatever. And I hope this guy's going to show us what he's up to. You can't really see them. But anyway, you can get a better view of London from somewhere like that. Alright, I'm going to switch it off now.